Okay, we're gonna have to set our clocks again. Put a new battery in it.
Oh,
Does it say on the edge of the computer?
are we there already? Wow, okay.
Okay, I want to welcome everyone to our first meeting of the year for 2018. We'll start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would be proud to nominate George Trump as chairman of the commissioners for 2018.
Okay, we got a motion,
Second,
got a second. Any further discussion?
I'd like to add to that motion that Mr. Amber is the vice chair.
Okay, we got a motion for Commissioner Trump as chair, vice chair, Commissioner Amber. Further discussion?
Yep.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have County Attorney Matt Shipman.
Hi, good afternoon. The only thing I have is I got a check actually in the mail from Solstice Medical.
Oh, wow.
For that, I've given it to Jana. It's payable, so it ended up being 51.508% is what the payoff was. So
Really?
of the 25, we got $12,877.12.
Great, good job.
Yeah, buddy.
It's payable to the EDC, so John may need to sign off on it, but I gave it to Jana and we'll get.
Okay.
John's not here.
Would it be proper for us to leave that in that revolving loan fund to be able to provide?
You know what, that belongs to the EDC.
Yeah, that
So
would be my thought on it. That they could keep it.
that's something you guys
That's
should
where it
take that.
originally came from.
Yeah,
Yeah, that,
Well, did it come from CEDAT funds?
yeah,
But that was the CEDAT funds that went in for, yes.
yeah.
well, probably onsite, offsite.
Indirectly, yeah, it came from
Yeah.
onsite, offsite. It
Yeah.
went into the EDC revolving loan fund, and then it was approved by the by the investment
board.
committee.
I would be happy because I have to go there after here. Just
Oh, no, I think that's the right thing to do.
Were you a little surprised that it came that quick?
Yeah, a little bit, but there was some urgency to get it wrapped up by the end of the year. They would have had to file another tax return if they didn't get it dispersed and done by the end of the year, so they wanted to close it out. So once we got the numbers agreed upon, I knew it was gonna come pretty quick.
That's a great job. Getting over 50%, that's super.
On the other one, no response, no answer on the Trubusco guys, so we're gonna have to and then figure out what to do from there, but.
Could we just file a lien on that and hope that,
We'll have a judgment lien once we get the judgment, but the judgment lien only attaches to property they own in the county in which we get the judgment. They don't own any property.
I'm gonna say, what do they have?
I don't believe they have any property at all in the state of Indiana that I've been able to find. I'll do a little bit more just kind of internet digging on that before
Okay.
next meeting and then kind of come up with some recommendations.
Aren't they from Connecticut or something?
Florida.
Florida?
So yeah,
Oh, okay.
we talked about maybe
originally it was
taking a
Connecticut?
trip down.
Oh, okay, okay.
Taking a
I
trip.
thought it was Connecticut.
To try to find it. Yeah, that was the one where I told you guys that I had gotten a call from a guy down in Florida who was an investor as well, and he's also
yeah.
having problems, and he's trying to figure out on his end whether there's assets down there to go after. Similar situation, he had, the guy kept telling him, oh, we're opening these 3 locations, that's what your money's going for, and he keeps.
Yippee. Okay.
Other than that, I don't have anything else to report.
Okay.
Unless you guys have questions.
Have anything for Matt?
No.
No, sir.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, no problem.
Get off easy the first of the year here. Okay, let's go to board appointments. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at
Yes, sir.
the appointments? Any changes, amendments?
For the official record, Jana, I will no longer be a member of the Region 3A Executive Board. I haven't been since last year. I believe for me, that's the only change.
And the only change I could think of was the Personnel Committee. I think we're going to reorganize the Personnel Committee. And as soon as we get a hold of Michael Frizzell, so that committee is going to be completely changed. And, but we'll deal with that when we get going with him. And then also, risk assessment. That, Pam is on that. And, Angie, would you be willing to go on the risk assessment? Okay. And then the same thing with the safety
Angie,
committee.
you had to say yes.
I assumed, but thanks for asking.
Yeah. Safety committee, Angie, you scratch Pam and,
Yeah, safety is another one. By the one, we want to present Angie Campbell as our new coordinator and HR person. And she actually started last week a little bit organizing, but this will be her first day, and we welcome her. She'll do a great job for us.
I hope so. Thank you.
welcome.
Okay, it looks like the rest of these are all council.
Yeah, I was looking at, like, just for making things right, is there a difference between fleet safety committee and safety committee?
I think that was all combined into one.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we do away with the fleet safety committee and keep the, well, Mark, you're on that. You wanna stay on that?
On what?
Have you ever had a fleet safety committee
No,
meeting?
just the regular safety committee meetings when they have.
Yeah, that's what I see
Yeah,
too.
it's all
So
combined.
my motion is to do away with fleet safety committee.
Okay, we've got a motion to combine the fleet safety with the safety committee.
I think, I'll second it.
Got a second? Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
The GIS task force, is that pretty much up to Dan? I noticed Rita's on there,
And Scott Jones is on there also.
Scott Jones. Is that pretty much up to?
That's pretty much the parcel committee now. I mean, everything they
Oh,
still have.
is partial committee on here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I think that was combined really into the parcel.
yeah, okay,
So I'll update that too.
okay. Just
Do we need a
clean up.
motion to combine that then, just to clean it up a little
I
bit?
make a motion that we rename or combine GIS task force and the
Parcel committee.
partial committee.
Okay, we got a motion to combine.
They're two different things.
What?
It is?
I think they're different, two different.
Oh, I'm not gonna second your motion then.
With Dan's.
Okay, I'm gonna withdraw my motion in favor of a motion that says we need to have a parcel committee added to it.
Well, it says I'm on it.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
it is.
Well, you are it basically right now, so,
Right now.
yeah. So
Well, it'll be active.
have fun with that.
So we'll deal with the parcel committee and the GIS task force.
Yeah, I think we're leaving GIS task force alone right now. Adding a parcel committee.
That will be,
Do I
Rita will
do
be
I
off
have
of
any
there.
help?
Scott Jones will be off of
You're
that.
there.
Huh?
You are it.
And that feels important.
Okay, with those amendments and in our assignments, I would ask for a motion to approve the committee and board assignments.
I so move we approve the board assignments, committee and board assignments.
And I would second that motion.
Got a motion and a second, further discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. You okay with everything there? Okay. Oh, we're going right through the agenda here. Sheriff Gatton, confinement officers, IT and employee pay.
I have a couple of extra things, so I'll defer to Amy if she wants to go in front of me.
Okay.
Get right up here.
I'm here to discuss the grant. Mr. Chair, as you're aware, the Department of Corrections offers grants to local communities. When the House Bill 1006 was enacted and changed the criminal justice system,
Thank you.
they've offered grants to the communities. It used to just be community corrections departments. Now it's open to probation, jail services, things such as that. Paula Warden will be here to present the entire grant to you in 2 weeks. I will not be here in 2 weeks, so I wanted to present to you my small portion of the grant that she's going to be asking for your approval for. So I'm just here to present and answer any questions you have on that. I had provided my numbers for you. 2 years ago, we applied for a grant for one probation officer. That probation officer supervises all felony, moderate, and high-risk offenders. We keep her case, it's Megan Anderson, we keep her caseload right at about 35 people because it's a very close supervision. And then last year, we applied and received the grant for our field officer, who is Brandon Rittenhouse. I'm asking for those two positions to be continually funded by the Department of Corrections. I gave Megan's salary set by the state, so I'm asking for her salary to be covered, as well as all of her benefits. And then Brandon, his salary, I just asked for the flat fee that the rest of the county employees received this year, and then adjusted all of the benefits to go along with that. So that's what my grant entails, and that's what we'll be requesting from the Department of Corrections.
One thing I would like to say, Amy, is I love the way that you have this broken down with the FICA, PERF, and insurance, because people don't realize that, you know, a $46,000 salary ends up being $69,000 with the benefits.
Yes.
And I think
See that form in front of you, Amy?
Yeah, this one?
Look down at the last line. I'm just curious if that number should be 2019.
Which,
Total being requested in fiscal year 2109.
2018?
Wouldn't that be 2019?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah. Come on, Don.
No, I just want clarification.
He's getting picky
just to
about
make
this.
sure.
Is this the form?
Oh, no, you don't have this, okay.
Oh,
Right
oh
there.
yeah, that's 2019. I was just
Okay.
typing quickly.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
please
you.
make that correction.
Thank
It's
you for making your
2019.
father get up and walk around. I appreciate it.
Are you
You
good
need
now,
the
Don?
exercise.
Yeah, I
I believe you got a copy of the actual grant, my portion. I completed the narrative. It's not 100% done yet. I just want to give you a rough draft of why we were asking for the money. As you know, we have a lot more people local, and we're seeing them come out to probation, and we want to provide them with the best supervision, not only for the offenders, but also for the community.
Is there any way we can put in an incentive pay to not put people in jail?
I wish we could ask for a bigger jail, but,
You can.
Where your head's at.
Oh, you can.
but unfortunately, the DOC will not fund that.
Yeah, okay.
Any questions?
No, I want to echo what George said. We, you know, if you look at this form, we normally get, hey, we want for 2018, 47,038,117, and that's not the picture at all. So I think what you've probably done is, would probably have caused us to make all people present their requests for payroll in this manner, because it presents a much truer picture. So unfortunately, not everybody's doesn't have grants, so.
Right. You know, and this is what we're asking for the money. It can't be guaranteed the Department of Corrections is always going to fund these positions, and at that point, we'll go to Plan B, and I'll come back and beg for
Have
money.
you thought
but-
about fish fries?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Amy.
So what if that grant dries up?
Then they have to look for other funding.
Yeah,
You know where that's at?
yeah. But we'll see the bigger picture in a couple of weeks when Paul is here, because it's all one big, they just couldn't come together.
I think DOC is finally understanding that the jails and probation, community corrections needs more money. And
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
they do something about it.
I kind of thought I saw in the paper this morning where that might be on the horizon, this, even though it's a short session.
Okay, Sheriff Gatton.
What'd you bring with you?
I brought Mr. Hurley. This one's not on, this just actually came to me. Adam and I met last week with an issue with the radio system, but hopefully a solution. We have some trouble with the radio out in the eastern part of the county along US 30. There's a lot of technical terms to talk about stuff, so that's why I brought Mr. Hurley with me today.
And my goal is not to get very technical unless you guys want me to. Basically, what we're looking or proposing to do is add a site out at the water tower on 600 East and 30 to help cover the East 30 corridor there and all the buildings. And also upgrade the backbone so it's an IP backbone rather than analog. And that's basically the gist of it. There's a lot of technical terms I can get into, but that's big picture.
Adam, when we bought the new system, wasn't that IT based or was that analog based?
You may confuse with the system, the dispatch center.
Yeah.
That's IP based.
Okay.
This is their VHF system throughout the county, which is 6 sites, and that was an analog backhaul. This is becoming a digital one.
Okay. Thank you.
Is this for police and fire?
Police and fire, correct?
Okay.
It'll benefit everybody.
It's all VHF stuff?
Correct.
Okay.
Did you give him a quote?
Yep.
What's this second line, 12 quantity?
12 of those IP channel voting modules. Again, that's because we're doing fire and sheriff.
Yeah.
So there's actually 12 sites, if you will. There's 6 out there, but there's 2 at each site. Okay, so we gotta do 12 of them.
Okay.
So what I'm requesting is if you guys will help figure out where we can fund the $27,890 and 69 cents.
Well, I think it's a worthwhile project. I don't have a problem with the project, but I don't think it's our job to come up with where to find the money, okay? Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to me it's our job to decide whether or not to give a favorable pass to the council. I love the idea, you know, so, but I wouldn't have an idea of where to come up with the money at. Is that assuming you just don't have the money?
I don't have that.
In any
to
budget?
pursue, no.
You have any part of the money? I don't really care, because we're not the money people, so it doesn't make any difference, but I'm just, you might have that in mind if you could do any cost sharing at all. So, Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we send this request to the council with a favorable pass because of the importance of both police and fire. Do you know what the voter system is? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think it's a great idea, and I would make a motion we give a favorable pass to the council.
Okay, we got a motion for a favorable pass.
I'll second it.
Got a second? Discussion?
No, we really need to just put it in place and if we get a favorable pass from the council, we can work together to find the money. Hopefully.
What's Cume Cap looking like? Again, I wouldn't want to tell council where to find the money, I'm just trying to come up with,
Cash balance wise?
yeah, yeah, so it's possible. That'd be 10% maybe, so, okay.
See you tomorrow morning.
Did we vote?
Did we vote?
I don't think we did.
Okay.
All those in favor, raise your right hand, opposed, the same. So we'll do a favorable pass tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. Stay warm.
You gonna come back?
I'll be here tomorrow morning.
Okay, the next thing's not on the agenda. I have one deputy that is not on the stipend program that I'm bringing before you, asking for Corey Bailey to be put on the cell phone stipend program.
How did that slip through?
Well, honestly, I think he was on a different plan that wasn't under his name, and then he got his own plan. And
Well, I just wondered how it happened that he wasn't on it like everybody else.
well, without going in too depth, I think he was still on his parents' plan.
Oh. Well, it's time for him to step up
And he
and
bought
be
a
a
house
big
and
boy.
moved out. Yeah.
Didn't
so-
we decide that if it comes out of their budget, they don't need to bring us a stipend program anymore?
Will that come out of your budget then? Is that,
We'll have to ask Jan. In the past, we would just call over to HR, and then they would take care of it. We'd never come, but at the time, we didn't have HR, so that's why I brought it in front of you.
Call Angie.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve it.
got a
Second.
motion to approve, we got a second. Further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand, opposed, the same. Thank you, Mark.
Okay. Which one of the two do you want next? You want Jody's or the jail? Okay. Well, I'll start with Jody's. I'm coming to you because you guys all know what's been going on, and I feel like the sheriff's department right now is not getting quite everything done we need with the IT portion of it. And over the next probably 5 years, we need to replace, we have approximately 70 computers in our building. I've looked at one quote already with computers, and with everything being installed by another company, it's about $1,000 a computer right now on my first estimate. What I'm coming to you guys for is to ask if you have any way you think we can get this accomplished so I can get the duties that are needed at the sheriff's department done with this IT program, whether that would be having my contract with the current company or another company rewritten or an IT job. I'm just reaching out for what you guys would think would be the best route on this one.
I guess I didn't know they weren't under preferred IT.
They actually went to.
VIA.
Yeah, via, yeah.
Okay, then, so they have a program.
Right.
So you have a program.
We have a contract for the Spillman and current stuff. I'm referring to the stuff of building the computer, stuff that the old director and IT person did that we weren't under contract with. We didn't sign that contract to have that stuff done. We were doing that in-house. We've went back a couple times for the raise. We have still not gotten, unless you did, George, from Mr., was it Frizzelli?
I haven't gotten anything yet.
Frizzell.
Frizzell.
Yeah.
He was supposed to do those two jobs first, and we haven't received anything yet.
I did try to get a hold of him last week, but he didn't call me back, so I'm not sure. Somebody,
So what you're saying is we need an IT program in the sheriff's department, whether it's outside source or inside.
We need a supplement to the one we have, yes, Don. There were duties that the past IT person did, like I said, building the computers at the department, taking care of the in-car computers and printers, the in-car mapping.
Yeah, real quick, if somebody's car computer went down, we don't want to have to wait 3 days for a guy to be out because it takes care of CAD, mapping, crash, all the reports inside the car, the desktop's up downstairs, so they can complete their stuff. So in order for us to keep working like we did the way he's talking about, is what Jody's responsibility was when Mr. Jones was here, okay? And that is what we are in hopes of Jody's duties becoming. Therefore, we save the charges and outcome to BIA to come do service visits every time somebody can't do something. The printer fails, the computer fails, some component needs replaced like that. I think that's where we're going like that. They save a lot of time instead of they get the guys right back in order, even upstairs in the office, in the cars.
We went with VIA because of Spillman.
Correct, the main reason.
And they really have no connection with the terminals in your building, with the car computers, with any of that stuff. That's not their bailiwick, right?
They have looked at them and installed all the Spillman
Sure, but that
software
should,
and everything.
but that should fall under the Spillman part.
But we did not have them contracted to take care of every computer and programming.
Okay, so,
Okay, was Jody capable of doing this?
Jody is capable of doing these things.
Okay, so this is something that's not getting done because our issue with the council.
With the pay issue, yes, and the job duties that were, yes.
So is this something maybe we need to bid out?
That's what I'm actually coming to you guys for your best opinion on this, because right now I'm pretty wore out on it. And,
Well, I'm just trying to understand this, so that's why I asked the
That's
question.
that's what I don't know, we're requesting, asking you guys, yeah, if nobody gets assigned those job duties, I still need computers built, I still need, and we can save a lot of money by having it in-house like it was before. We still have to buy the license and the programming, but we have somebody that are capable of building these computers for us, these towers, and take care of all the car computers.
I guess my suggestion would be to come up with some kind of a RFP real quick, and if you can, and put that out and present that to council.
that's what I see too. And come back with, if it's left for Jody to do, how much it's gonna cost us if she does it, so that there's some kind of comparison there.
And that's where I was hoping he would have, that's why I was gonna check with you if you had that new job description, what he valued it at, so.
I'll give him a call again and find out, because that was the first one we were supposed to get.
Yeah, that's, okay.
But I think, I just agree with George. We need to find out if we have to hire a company to do that work, what's it gonna cost us?
Okay.
I just think we need that number. Because quite frankly, council's made it pretty clear, they're not very willing to give Jody any more money. So our hands are kinda tied. on this thing.
That's why I came for an opinion today, because I
Okay.
feel I'm out of options too, Don, right
Yeah.
now. And I just need these duties to be, I don't need an officer with his mapping down that needs to get somewhere.
Well, there's only two options to it right now. It's either have an outside source take care of this, or Jody, but that's the two options
Then they are
that we
the
have
only
right
two
now.
options we have.
Okay.
So, and the only way you're gonna compare the two then is to get a price from an outside source. And I don't know about the job description part,
Yeah.
maybe we have to wait till that happens, but.
I'll try to call him after the meeting here and see if I
But
get
that-
it, because with council being tomorrow.
Right. Okay, last, the big issue, the jail. Did you guys all get a chance to look? I think you guys have all, I'm not gonna go into that too depth, you guys have all been up to speed for a couple of years on this, so. We all know that we're in a critical state right now, I would call it, in the jail with staffing. I've had 3 guards hurt during altercations with inmates since September 23rd of 17. All have been seen either at the ER and have lost time at work or have been put on a light duty. The most recent one was just New Year's Eve. I had one got a hand injury during an altercation. Right now, I don't have enough staff at times to utilize what we call a restraint chair in the facility. The guidelines for using the restraint chair are 3 officers at one time. Sometimes we don't have 3 officers in the facility. We have to call in the guys off the road, and either that or if there's a city unit, but the restraint chair requires you to go through a training before you can help utilize putting an inmate in the restraint chair. Today even, Jason and I and the detective went over, we had to put one in the restraint chair this morning, so. The medical part of the jail's going up. We had 5 people at one time on watches within the last 2 weeks, which are 15-minute checks, which is also the same officer that's supposed to be watching all the cameras and monitors and opening doors and answering phones. So, you guys all looked at the packet, right? Looked at it. So what I'm coming for today is a favorable motion, and I've sat down and spoke with Jana. I would like to open it up to see if I could get 3 confinement officers. Jana confirmed with me that there's enough in the Lowit to sustain 2 of those at the current amounts we've had. And then to get up to the staffing, they say we need couple different options, which we can discuss later, like at the jail meetings yet coming up. But I think we need to make a good step forward with a good faith. Going forward, we can either do, 3 a year for the next 3 years, or 2 for the next 4, then 1. They told me that we should figure in 3 to 4% increase in staffing every year in a facility. So we're going to be around 12 to 13, even down the road yet for total. And that
doesn't include any you replace.
correct.
That's additional.
Which I don't know if you guys know, we're losing another one this Friday. I think's her last day. As you guys all know, the jail facility and environment is not for everybody. Some of them come work a short time, some of them stay, some of them come until they feel like they're burnt out, and then they move on. Is there anything in the packet you guys want to discuss or talk about?
I think we've been pretty well aware of what's been going on with the reports.
And I think we've talked about this in the past, and you know this, and Sean's not here, I guess, so, but we've talked about it. We've had issues where we've given you the go-ahead, hire somebody, and we wait 2 and 3 months. They don't get hired. Can we be assured that if we say we're gonna let you hire somebody? Now, understand, pretty hard to find people right now. I know that. This is not 2008 where you could find people, 20 people today. You're gonna have trouble. But I just wanna be assured that if we tell you to hire somebody, that you'll go out and make a concerted effort to do it.
We will, but I hope you understand our hiring. Sometimes, there was one incident, you and I both know why it took long.
Yeah.
But we do a lot more background than what probably the other divisions do.
It's important, I understand that.
But yeah, and then we've had times where we've re-interviewed a whole group because we didn't find what we thought was a good applicant, so.
Well, we may get to the point where you may have to try to find an adequate applicant. I mean, it's just a sad state of affair. Every business around today is looking for people, so I get it. I just want to make sure that you guys go right to work on it and do what you can.
This most recent one that's leaving, we were actually replacing still with somebody we just interviewed in the last group because we had 4 good applicants in that one.
Good. That's great.
Okay, you said, well, you said first, you needed 3.
I would
Right now.
request and like 3 right now, and then I believe, or I feel the jail study committee can work out a better plan on how many for the next years after this.
But you need 3 right now.
Yeah,
And 2 could be covered by Lowit.
yes, sir.
Perfect.
Unless those numbers disappear,
Okay.
Jana, between.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, I assume this is, a motion would be a favorable pass to the council.
Right.
I'd make a motion that we present to the council a favorable pass for 3 positions.
Okay, we've got a motion for a favorable pass for 3 positions as jailers.
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion? One thing I will tell you is I talked to Sean the other day, and he said it's a different type of inmate that we have anymore. It's hard to believe, but,
It's not gonna argue, I don't know what to say, it's just a different environment in there than it's ever been.
yeah.
And at the next task force meeting or jail meeting, I'm also gonna bring some ways that, with the level 6 funding we're getting, that's now coming in at a little better of a steady pace here, we can hopefully show where we can get some of that income to fund maybe over the next couple of years.
If there is an altercate, well, let's wait.
Okay, any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand, opposed the same.
If there is an altercation, I assume you don't have any choice but to try to break it up. I'm not saying, can you just stand there and let them fight it out till they're done, but, yeah.
No, we can't due to statute of providing a safe environment. Once, these altercations have all taken place not from breaking up fights, from actual fights between inmates and staff.
Oh.
This is inmate
Inmate staff. Oh, I thought it was
confrontation, not inmate on
Okay.
inmate. No,
Okay.
a lot of times they break those up when we enter the block, but
All right, okay. All right.
these have all been from inmate to staff confrontations.
Is there any other safety gear that we can provide these jailers at all, or anything?
No, I feel like we provide adequate there, but with the force continuum of officer presence and verbal commands, we can't just run in and, tase somebody or spray them. We have to follow the force continuum or we'll get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah.
And as Don said, a lot of them don't really respect or care for us anyways, no matter what we do. So, but,
I would like to get it on the agenda for the next safety committee meeting, so that at least we can start a paper trail of any ideas we can to help I'm kind of looking out for our employees here,
Yeah.
more so than inmates, okay? But,
one of the injuries is requiring 2 separate surgeries for somebody, so.
wow, okay.
So, welcome, you'll get to know my extension.
Have you ever seen those great big inflatable sumo
Yeah.
suits? I'm just thinking along that line,
And then here, due to the recent cold weather, just so you know, in the jail, this year, or now we're in 18, last year alone, we've lost 5 windows that we've had to replace. The most recent one, I think, that got worse was just plain due to the cold weather. So, another issue you guys didn't know about that's starting to rear its head, so. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Okay.
Well, I got our counselor here. What do you got to say on this situation? What's our options?
I think that's why we have the jail task force. And I don't feel like I know enough about it.
But I don't want you to have to learn quickly with, lawsuits.
Definitely a concern that we need. Staffing sounds like the sheriff thinks that's the best way to at least handle it.
They keep talking about more staffing every year, but, that's considering that we have more inmates, and we're to the point right now at 132 that we almost can't take many more than what we've got.
We need some type of alternative. You either have an alternative or you build a bigger jail. That's to me, it's the only 2 choices I can see right now. So we need to look at people in jail that maybe would be better suited to be somewhere else.
The problem with that we're finding out though now, Don, is that if you take the technical violators out of the jail, the problem with that is you can't put them into community corrections because you're rewarding them for violating their parole. So what do they do in that technical facility? How do you deal with that?
Where'd your sidekick go?
Oh, he left. I have more ideas, but I was gonna take them to the task force on
Okay.
other options and not just, the way it's set up for staffing, according to the state inspectors, you all know, whether we're at 80% or 100%. But I have other options if everything comes with a price tag, you know.
Well,
But you with this package.
but I think I love this jail task force thing. I think that's a great, you got a wide variety of people, and then they can come back to us and when time comes, so.
Yeah, this next meeting, like I said, I have a lot more, I don't want to bring it up, but I have a lot of new information and ideas maybe we can hit.
Good.
Is the next,
Friday, I'm trying to set it up. I don't know, you can't make it in the afternoon, right?
Oh, I mean, it'd be nice if it was like an hour earlier, I'd probably get it, but everybody's schedule looks like.
That's where I'm trying to get, I've got the day, but the time.
You set a time, I'll do the best I can.
Okay.
to do it.
Okay, we'll probably make it right around 1:30, I would imagine. Okay. Earlier better, or?
Yeah, I gotta, leave it.
Okay.
noon, 1?
I'll deal with that as soon as I leave here. I'll send you, I'm gonna send a letter out to, or an email out to everyone.
Okay.
We're doing this Friday, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm free on Friday.
Okay. Just let me know later, so. Brandon?
As you're aware, this year is the first year that we've actually done annual bids in the year that we're bidding. And I'm sure, and you're also aware, the reason we're doing that is because of the Community Crossings program and NDOT's requirement that your bids be in that year. So what that causes us is a little bit of an issue for a couple of items, and that is fuel, gas and diesel, and then also our, what the one supplier calls ice grit or a winter aggregate.
So it's really the materials you need real soon.
Between now and 2 weeks from now. And so, I didn't have a whole lot of time between opening and your meeting here, but I did look at both gas and diesel.
Okay.
And I'm learning about diesel. I've never owned a diesel, but diesel can be finicky. And speaking with, Kevin was our former mechanic, and I really feel, based on what I think I know, that it's important that we get our diesel from one single source. Two of the three bids, at least their pricing come from the same rack. And so I would have no problem recommending that we award to the low bidder, which is United Oil, for diesel. Now, gas is a different story. Gas is gas. And we could do it either way. We could actually accept all bids, and then we can call around, and that would probably be the easiest. But when you look at the diesel, again, I think it's important that because if you get a bad load, was it the last load, or was it the new load that caused the problem?
Correct. Yep.
If you're getting that from a single source, you know who to blame. There's no question. Again, gas is not finicky like diesel. 87 octane is pretty much 87 octane. Obviously, it could be messed up too, but so I would have no problem really either way. We could just accept all bids and then there's no question. When we need a particular fuel, we'll call and see what's the best price and what's the best product. I would certainly want, if we're gonna accept all bids, that there be that caveat in the acceptance that, you know, we, just because your price is lower doesn't mean that it's better, especially with diesel. I mean, I've talked to people, be it users or suppliers, that certain terminals, you don't want to buy your cold weather diesel from that place. You know,
So is that your recommendation to approve all?
it would be easier that way, but again, with the caveat that when it comes to diesel, we're gonna maybe do a little more due diligence before we actually accept something that comes from
I think you
East
said you had
Chicago
two
or-
bidders that do come from the same rack?
Two bidders both quoted the Marathon Huntington rack, which that's, you know, we've had consistent, high-quality
Yes.
material from there.
Is it possible to make those, award the bid to those two?
We surely could.
Yeah.
surely
Are you,
could.
are you happy with that?
Yeah, but they're not the same price.
Well, the one was 1 penny cheaper. Yeah, if it's gonna come from that rack, sure, that'd be fine. Both of them quoted, their price was from that rack.
My motion, Mr. Chairman, would be that we accept the bids that come from the Marathon rack in Huntington. In any bid that comes from the Marathon rack in Huntington.
Okay, we've got a
For
motion
diesel.
For diesel.
For diesel.
for diesel fuel to accept any of the bids that come from the Marathon rack at Huntington.
Got a second for discussion, but I got some more questions.
Okay, we've got a second for discussion.
Are those two bids you got from that Marathon rack?
Yes.
If you have an issue, there's only one place you're gonna get a service from, and that's United,
Well,
if you got an issue. And they're here 2 miles away, and they're gonna take care of you. I just want you,
I'm fully aware of that. they
so
were-
based on that statement, and I'd just sure like to see it awarded to them just because of their location and their service that they provide.
Can I ask who the other one is?
Petroleum Traders.
It is Petroleum Traders?
Right. The third, we got 3 bids, or 3 bidders for both items.
Yeah.
Ag Plus was, they were quite a bit
gas.
higher. They were, that's gas. They were like 8 cents higher, I think. United was 254.9. Petroleum Traders was 255.9, and Ag Plus was 263.8. So almost, well, no, 9.1 cents higher
It's big.
than United. But they're pulling out of Peru.
Well, that, what I'm saying.
Peru,
Peru.
their rack. That's
That's their own rack.
Yeah, or Century, not Century.
Is that Country Mark
Century
or
Mark, Country Mark. That's
Country Mark.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, Country Mark Terminal in Peru. So
But I'm just saying, if you ever had an issue, you know where you're gonna get the service.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to withdraw my motion.
Okay, motion is withdrawn to use the 2 bidders that were pulling from the Marathon rack in Huntington.
Make a motion that we select United Oil as a successful bidder for diesel.
Make a motion from the floor that we accept United Oil as a successful bidder for diesel fuel.
Second.
Got a second? Further discussions?
Brandon, that's just for on-road diesel.
correct. Yep, that's low sulfur. Yes, premium.
Do we buy any
Off-road?
Off-road diesel,
No. We use on-road and.
everything,
Yeah.
all right.
Couple of pieces of equipment could
Good,
qualify.
but it's not worth messing
No,
with.
well, we've only got 2 tanks.
Yeah, don't have enough tanks, yeah. Yeah.
Further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Now, do you guys use, I use an additive in my diesel, just
Absolutely. Yes.
just anti-Jill, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
You guys do the same?
Yep,
Good.
and we did not have with, depending on what you saw, I saw 11 below this morning. We didn't have any problem.
I had no problems with mine, and my son's is still sitting in Shipshawana. So, yeah, I think you have to be faithful about the additive right now.
Yeah, oh,
So-
absolutely. Yeah, it'll gel on you at these temperatures. So on gas, again, gasoline, 87 octane gasoline is a little more forgiving than diesel. You know, the prices, you know, 210.9, 214.6, and 216.4. So 5.5 cents difference between the three. The advantage to accepting all is that you can call around and you know, see which one is cheaper that day.
Yeah.
To our benefit, not to, you know, not to their benefit, but to our benefit. So I guess my recommendation would be to accept all for gasoline. And
I move we accept all the gasoline bids.
Okay, got a motion to accept all gasoline bids that were presented this morning. Got a second. Further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Okay, and the final is item 8, which was gravel, and that includes sand, or this product that has been bid to us and we have used. They call it ice grit, which is, it's like sand, it's just a little coarser, and it works well. It's the aggregate that we put down on when you get snow-packed roads like this. It really does help with your grip. So we actually had 3 winter ice aggregate bids. One is clear that it's delivered at $7.95 a ton, which is, I mean, that's pretty cheap. One is not clear whether it's delivered or not. It's only $6.50 a ton. I would tend to believe that that's FOB their plant. The other, they give us clear FOB plant and delivered highway. Their delivered highway was $8.50. So not suggesting to reject any bids for this item at this point. I just would request that you do accept the for item 8, 12,000 ton or less, ice grit is their name at $7.95 a ton with Bailey aggregates. And again, not suggesting that we reject anything. This is the first time we've ever done this that I'm aware of. Normally I need a couple weeks to go through everything and come back with a full list of accept and reject.
So we
but
could, for the reason you could need some of this soon.
between now and next meeting, absolutely.
Have a motion?
Yeah, I move what'd Brandon say, accept them all, but use,
Well, just accept the ice grit from Bailey for
yeah,
$7.95
all
a
right,
ton.
so move.
And not, a second for discussion,
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Discussion?
and not knock the others out, though.
Not at this point, no.
But we are, aren't we? If we say we're gonna buy from Bailey's,
Well, just
Well,
for the next
sometimes,
2
no,
weeks.
well, that's, yeah. I need to get with the other bidder that bid $6.50, because if they're gonna give me a comparable product
absolutely,
for
yeah.
$6.50,
Yeah,
we'll buy it all
could we
day.
make this motion just for the next 2 weeks?
Till the next
I'll be back in
meeting.
2 weeks and with a full recommend,
Yeah.
accept, recommend,
Yeah,
reject.
but this would, but taking that bid right now that we know we know it's delivered and we know the price of it.
Well, I mean, we could accept, again, we could accept all these right now. I would have no problem with that. Just accept them all, and then I can look into these others if they're gonna deliver at $6.50, you know, if it's the right product too. We like this quote-unquote ice grit because it's a little coarser than what people sell as sand. You know, this item is gravel. I mean, to be honest, we don't use a lot of gravel. We use pea gravel for some of our chip sealing, and we use winter ice aggregate for the most part.
Don't actually remember what the motion on the floor is. Is it to go with Bailey's only?
For 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
Well, if it's for 2 weeks, then I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay, we got a motion to approve Bailey's aggregate for 2 weeks and not rejecting the others.
Correct.
We got a second?
Second.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we did.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry.
Further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to say, whatever material you're using now is really perfecto. I'm not kidding you.
It
It's,
does a good job.
you know, I see a lot of this stuff and it just does such a great job. So don't change your salt mixture or anything like that, because I think you really got this thing down to a fine science right now.
Well, don't
Screw it up.
Yeah.
somebody knock on wood, because what I've learned in my short experience, I didn't learn a lot last winter because we didn't have that bad of a winter.
Yeah.
You get on it early, you hit it hard, and
That's it. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
you know,
Hit it early and hard.
I'm not too proud or whatever. The first snow we got, I waited a little long to call the guys out. We should have hit it a little earlier, and it got slick quick, and
Sure made up for it, man. It's these holiday weekends have been great, and I feel so bad for those guys. They've left their families, they've missed great meals. Well, Casey did get a warm cinnamon roll. But you know, they left their families and left warm houses and warm meals, and they went out making our roads safe for the rest of us, so.
well, and you know, I give these guys a lot of credit.
Yeah, thank you.
Because they, I'm not gonna say there was no grumbling. Shoot, I was grumbling, you know?
Sure.
Especially when we were working the day after Christmas, when we had worked Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and
Yeah, you
the day
did.
after.
Yeah, you did.
I was grumbling then.
I get it. I totally
And
get it.
I'm not the one behind the truck, although I did go behind the truck the other day, George, and I told him, no offense, but that wasn't the thrill I was expecting. We're gonna have to wait for about an 8-inch storm and the first pass.
That makes a big
Then
difference.
take me for a ride.
Well, there's 30-mile-an-hour wind blowing it right back into your face.
Right.
Mhm.
But, you
Yeah.
know, all in all, everything went pretty well. We didn't have any major breakdowns, knock on wood on that one too.
Yep.
So we'll just hope that it.
I would just say it didn't go pretty well. I'd say it went real well. From my perspective, you know, we get the calls, and the calls this time were complimentary calls as opposed to grouchy calls. So, that's
Yeah, please
good.
let all the guys know from the commissioners that we say
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
I will do that.
great job.
Definitely.
Absolutely great job. Appreciate it. And I hope they don't have to put a plow on the rest of the winter. So
That'd be great.
it'll
I
happen.
just-
So.
Well, my father-in-law reminded me last winter kind of went like that. It wasn't, once it started, it kind of warmed up and wasn't too bad, so hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Brandon.
Not the kind of thing you want to hear when you're in the snowmobile business, but I get it.
I was
Okay,
thinking
I get
that
it.
as I was driving some of these roads, Don, they're not snowmobile friendly. Some of them.
Nope, some of them aren't, buddy. Thank you.
Okay, let's look at minutes. Have you had a chance to take a look at the December 18th minutes?
Okay, did you make the change here?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Commissioner Western was here. Well, he was physically here.
Yeah,
The rest of it's
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
iffy.
So, and then I asked her to make a change in the matter of comp time, and that got done, I assume. So with that, I make a motion, we approve the
I'll
minutes of
second it.
December 18th.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second to approve. Further discussion, and that's with the amendments. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Then I've got another one here. We had an executive session December 12th, 2017. And I've got the minutes,
Okay.
just that we did have the session.
Okay, motion to approve the December 12th.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion to approve the December 12th executive session. We got a second. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Okay, Don, claims.
First of all, I'd make a motion that we approve the payroll claims for
Second.
the period. And then, I just know there was something I wanted to, it wasn't important at all. I just wanted to bring it up, but I can't think of what it was, so I just make a motion, we approve the claims as they were presented to me.
Okay, we got a motion.
George helped too.
Yeah. We got a motion to approve claims as presented.
Second.
Got a second. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Okay, we've got payroll claims.
We did that.
Oh,
Just to do the vote, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah, we've already done payroll. I did that right away before I did the claims. Here, if you look, I got check mark, see? But if you want it done again, I can do it. It's no problem.
That's okay.
I just always want to make sure I get that payroll in right away.
We lost our crowd.
Yeah, we did. Wow.
Jeez.
Okay.
Crowd's getting picky. They're giving us an hour, and that's all they're giving us. an
Yeah,
hour.
they're like, hey,
I'm going.
that's it.
This too.
3 times. Thank you, sir.
Angie.
Okay. As the current employee handbook states, right now, we don't address PTO for elected officials, whether we have a current active employee that becomes an elected official, or if we have an elected official that then becomes an active full-time employee that is non-elected. So, we're kind of proposing to add additional information to the current handbook where we're addressing PTO time for both employees once they leave an elected position and once they become an elected position. if they're elected and become a full-time employee, the length of service will be from the date that they actually became an employee of the county, whether it was elected or not. But
It
if,
could have been an employee, then become elected, and back to be employee, and we're going to go back to when, because I think that's
Exactly.
only fair, because that's their length of service.
exactly.
Yeah, that's their length of service.
But if an active employee becomes an elected official, that PTO time will be based on the separation of employment because PTO won't carry over to an elected position.
Okay.
So we're adding that to the handbook. And then in regards to donation of PTO time, we just want to remove the requirement for county commissioners' approval if it's an emergency and an employee needs time right now. We're just going to change that to go through the HR director so that that employee would be allowed to use that donated time immediately.
We actually had such a case last week, right?
Yes.
So it was good Commissioner Trump was around to do it, but nonetheless, it should have been, okay. Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we approve both revision ideas to the handbook.
Okay, we got a motion to approve PTO revision of 1/2/2018, and on
Donation of
also
PTO time.
donation of PTO time.
I second that motion.
Got a motion, we got a second, further discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand, opposed, the same.
They can, nope, they can have them.
Let's make the payroll clerks all happy.
Well, I better present.
That's fine, I didn't, yes, yes.
This is one, a donation from one employee to another for an issue with some personal issues for 15 hours of PTO, donating 15 hours of PTO.
Okay.
Yeah, do we have to?
I thought that was the one we
I thought
approved.
we already approved it.
Well, we approved for,
That was for the third.
Oh.
This is for security.
Oh, this for another, this is another one?
yeah, this is one that Judge Fall just brought to us.
Oh, okay.
Well, I make a motion, we approve the donation PTO form.
And I will tell you that I tentatively approved that.
Yeah, that needed done. Thank you very much for doing that. I'm pretty sure if we were all together, it would have happened, so.
See, Angie?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, you will. Oh, you will.
Amanda came down and handed this to me this morning. Nathan needs you to appoint your plan commission members. It'd be,
How soon do we need to have that? Before their next meeting, I guess.
she handed it to me this morning.
Okay, Commissioner, Commissioner. 4, okay. Okay.
Doesn't the council do that one, Chad Banks?
Yeah,
So we get,
it's that one, there's about 4 of them.
So are there any of them?
Well, I didn't know.
Any interest, you know, is there any interest from anyone from Plan Commission? Did Nathan say that
I think
anybody?
it's just the same.
Okay. Is that his approval that we,
I believe so.
okay.
I mean, Amanda, yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
remember.
You have to do this before they meet?
Well, their next meeting is the day of, no.
It's on Wednesday after
It's
our
Wednesday after our meeting,
commissioners meeting.
next one.
I just feel kind of pushed on this, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all. I just feel kind of pushed.
Yeah.
Do I have alternates? Nope, I have no alternates. I have no idea, so I don't know. But if we do it, they're good for 4 years, right?
Yeah, my suggestion would be that we table it until the next meeting.
I would make a motion that we table it until the next meeting.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
So could I ask that we get some, and I prefer this by email if it's possible, because it's easier for me, some insight from Nathan
Yes.
and assurance that these people would even want to do it again.
And we haven't had a chance to check and see if they're even interested.
No. And this is kind of how you get in trouble sometimes. You just make these appointments and they go, well, you never look at anybody else. And so this is how we get in trouble sometimes, and I just should not do that. But I think that's it. Information from Nathan and assurance that these people are willing. And quite frankly, if somebody had an idea, somebody's been dying to get on it, I guess I wouldn't mind knowing that either. So.
Is some of these on by political parties?
Like one each.
I'm sorry?
I think each party appoints
Shows on there.
me, I mean. Is it one or two?
I see nothing that deals with political parties on here.
Sure.
I can't remember how many.
That means Democrat.
Yeah, like Brad, I know Brad is.
And then Republican, Democrat. So, yeah, these and ours next to their names.
These and ours, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Let me see that again then.
I
Sorry.
think if you,
I'm gonna check, see what's that. You don't even have one.
I didn't
No, I think that's right.
know there's that many.
there has to be that breakdown of.
Yeah.
That's cool, okay.
There's two and two besides the appointed ones, so. They're the ones that,
Ooh, you know, 2017.
there's five.
And when we make the change to that form, probably ought to take Kathy Gardner's name off of it. Now, did we go ahead and vote to table?
No, to table it,
I don't know
yeah.
where we are. Did we? Okay, so we're done with that, okay. Okay.
Could we all get a copy of that also?
Well, yeah, I was hoping to have that in the packet too, so, yeah.
Brandon didn't have any right-of-way permits?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
Who wants to dig in this weather?
that's true. Commissioner, do you have anything?
Nope.
Should we talk this office?
Yeah, let's talk that.
Okay.
Veteran Service Office has been requesting that they could get down to the lower level for the simple fact that a lot of their clients have an issue with trying to get up the stairs and the elevator.
I didn't know the elevator was that big a deal, but anyway.
Yeah. So, the suggestion was to use this room, the old commissioner room for VSO.
Ran that across him?
Uh-huh.
What'd he
He
say?
wants it.
No, he think he
Yeah.
more ran that across us.
As he said, is it big enough for him?
Yeah.
He's
Oh, he
measuring
was in the day
tonight.
measuring,
Huh?
right?
He told me he was measuring his stuff tonight, his office filing cabinet's desk. He was
Yeah.
to make sure.
I don't know, what does
Yeah.
Angie think?
And I did tell him that we had to bring it to the meeting to do anything with it.
What do you think, Angie?
I said I didn't have a problem with him relocating here. My only concern was this door that connects to.
No longer
office,
just
other
bop
than
into
that.
Angie's office.
But I'm not going to tell him he can't because of a door. I can easily walk around. As long as everybody knows, they're gonna have to definitely use the second door, not the.
Now, he mentioned to me, and I hope he talked to you too, in addition to this office, putting stuff in your back room.
And he has a file cabinet that he wants to put back there.
Was that mentioned to you?
Not yet, but he did ask if he could meet with me tomorrow sometime.
Okay, because, Jana, you're gonna have to help me here, but didn't we take stuff out of that room? So, you can't look at that room right now and say, this is everything, can you? That's what I'm thinking.
Did they take some of that up to your office, Jenna? Huh?
Everything.
Yeah,
So maybe at this point,
Yeah.
we'd better table this
I really think we
until
should.
Angie finds out how much room she's got, and
Yeah, I didn't want her to come in and all of a sudden she can't even get in her back room
Yeah.
because he's got it full of stuff. When I know, I mean, my memory was, we took stuff out of there. And so I'd rather have it.
We can get everything back
Now,
out
there was a
there.
lot of junk back there.
yeah.
I had 2 big wind turbine generator thing, you know.
Yeah,
There's
I had
stuff,
one in there, too.
I put it in that desk over there, so I was guilty of having stuff in there that didn't need to be in there, so, but, anyway.
But that'll give us a couple weeks to
I really
Talk
would
about
like, I'd really like that, because I'd like her to be a little more comfortable with what she's got, and,
she's almost had a whole day.
Jana, what is she, yeah. Jana, what does she do, call Mark and ask for file cabinets to be brought down? How does that work? And
It would have to be work related, if like they have.
work release, oh, that's a good idea. Okay, all right, okay. So, I'll make a motion that we table the thought of the veteran service officer moving offices until we've had, at least till the next meeting, to look at the ramifications of doing so.
Okay, we got a motion to table until the next meeting.
Second.
Got a second, further discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand, opposed the same. That way it gives us a little bit, we're not rushing into this, and we can think about it.
How much of that stuff that got moved to your office, Angie, or Jenna, that, is all of it good stuff? Or nobody's sorted through it?
Well, I mean, we've,
The files that she's got, most of them are personnel files that have papers in there that have social security numbers or
Yeah.
information.
medical.
Yeah, so
and-
we don't want very many people having access to that information either.
I actually think when we transferred them upstairs, we had.
Good idea, yeah.
Not a good thing
Yeah.
to give
Yeah, woo, looky here.
They were supervised the last time.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's all I had. I knew we wanted to talk about the
Yeah.
office, so.
The only thing I had was, in addition to that, was everybody get their meeting schedule for 2018. Pretty well set with that, right? Everything, okay.
Yeah.
And I guess that's all I
And
had.
I think I cleared it in February just in case you guys were gonna be gone and I got stuck in the snow up north, but it sounds like you're both here on, about the 19th or whatever, so.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Sorry about that.
And then also, I just have that I'd like to, all of us to look at the CETA plan and kind of decide
Yep.
what we want to present to council on that also.
Yep.
And I think I've got an updated, the number that you gave me is end of the year number, right, for seated? Okay.
You need copies of that? Okay, yeah.
I think
You
I
got
have-
notes
I
and
don't
stuff?
have- No,
Okay, okay.
that's from the old,
I'll go back, because we talked about one thing, right? And I'll just make sure, I say we sort of fill it up as best we can.
that's kind of the way I feel too. Okay, that's all I have. Anything from the public? Jay? Okay,
What about Bill? You got anything to say, Winston?
That's it. Whatever I got to say, I'll say it tomorrow.
Whoops, uh-oh. If you got 5 minutes, though, I'll talk to you. So,
okay, call for the motion.
motion adjourned.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yeah, that one.